Hey everyone, in our previous video we have discussed about the function and the different type what is function and what are the different types of function, how to create function. There are different parameters, return statement, keywords, all these things and scope of a variable, right? All these things we have already seen. In this today's video, in current video we are going to learn more on the keywords, right? This is very important guys. So in today's video we are going to more focus on how to use different type of keywords in Python programming that you are going to see in your program, right, in your project, right? So there are different type of, you can see, arguments we are using in the Python programming. So if I see types of arguments, types of argument, there are different there you can see mainly four type of argument. One is, you can see, your positional argument that we have already seen. Positional positional in the sense, when you write, let's say, sum, and you say a comma b, right? When you are going to use this some particular function, you have to provide the value of a and b at the same order, so which is called as a positional argument. And next, what we can see, your keyword based argument, right? Keyword argument, right? Keyword means when you are going to call this particular sum, when you call this and you pass the data like this way, right? You use the keyword, the particular argument name, and you are passing the value at the same way, right? So that is what we call as a keyword based argument, right? And similar way we can see variable length. We, when we do not know what is the length of the input we are going to, what is the length of, you can say, argument we want to have or we are going to have, right, inside the method, then we use the variable length. You can see variable length, argument, right? Similar way we can see variable length positional argument, and there can be two things. One is your positional argument, one is your variable length. We can see positional argument, and similar way we can say variable length, and we can see keyword argument, right? These are the two things we are going to mainly focus on today's video. Okay, so I hope the agenda is clear to you guys. We have already learned what is positional argument, what is keyword based argument. Now in today's video we'll be more focusing on the variable length, right? What is the variable length of positional argument and how to deal with this, and what is the variable length for the, you can say, keyword based argument, and how to deal with this. Today on this video, in this video we are basically focusing on to this. Now let's try to understand what is variable length positional argument. We'll be try to understand first this one. After that, we'll be moving to this one, right? Okay. So what I'll do, I'll first explain you how, what is this actually, and after that we'll be trying to write some code on this, right? So first we'll be dealing with variable length, variable length positional argument, positional argument, right? What is this and how to use this, right? To use this, what do we do actually? Variable length positional argument, we use, let's say I am defining one function, let's say def, and I am saying display info, right? Display underscore info. So this is my function name, and here I am using star and I am using args. I am using args, star args, okay, args. So if you are writing your project, if you are writing your function like this way, and after that you are printing the data dot args, that is something, after that you are writing some code over here, right? So this is nothing but you is going to be the length of the arguments inside of this method. Signature is not defined. So you can pass any number of positional argument here inside in this function call, and the argument will be created inside of this particular function as a tuple, right? So I can pass one data, I can pass two data, I can pass multiple set of data inside of this particular function call, and that will be created as our tuple, right? Let's see this in particular in you can see practical example, right? So I'll be going to this collab link where we were writing the code for just in our previous lecture. So I'll be using the same collab link, right? So let me mark it down as variable length positional argument, right? Positional argument. Okay. So now here what I'll do, I'll create a function called display info. So I'll see display and info, right? Here I'll be, what I'll do, I'll say star and I'll say args, args. Now here just let me print one statement. I say args or args, right? I'll just print the args, whatever the args we will be getting, I'll be printing that. Okay, so this is my method is already defined. Now I am trying to use this particular method, or I am trying to call this method. So let's call this method display info, and here I'm going to pass some info. Let's say I'm passing 1 2 3 4 5. So this is the collection of data. I don't know how many number of data I want to pass to this particular function, but my function is should be capable enough whatever the number of data you are going to pass, so it should accept. Earlier cases, let's say I'm using this add number, and here this add number particular function was expecting to pass me two numbers, right? So I am restricted to pass only two numbers. I cannot pass one number, or I cannot pass more than two number, right? So this is what the limitation of, you can say, positional based function, or you can say keyword based function. But for this case here the length is variable when I'm using the start this particular thing, right? Now what is the number of data you are passing to this particular method, that is not important. Okay, it will be always able to handle. If I run this code, you can see it is printing the data whatever I have passed, right? And also you can see the data is printed within a braces. That means this data type of args is a, you can understand that is a tuple, or you can just print the data type also so that you can understand. Let me print that also. Okay, so I'll say type of args, args, right? So I want to check the what is the type of data type we are getting. We are simply passing 1 2 3 4 5, right? You can see if I run this code now, you see we are getting this is called it is actually, sorry, I did not execute this one. Okay, now let me run this code. You can see it is printing the class as type tuple, right? So even if you pass one single information, let's say I'm passing instead of this, instead of the numbers, I'm just passing let's say Python, right? I'm passing Python. If I run this code, you can see it is printing the data as a tuple only, right? So as we already know, or as you already went through what is tuple and how to use the tuple, right? So this is nothing but a combination of data, and then with the combination of data, what you want to perform, that is completely up to you, right? So let me do one more thing. I'll be printing all the data one by one, right? That's my job. But let's see. Instead of this, I'll be creating one more function over here. So let's see, I'm changing display and I'll remove this, and after this I'll be using a for loop. So I'll use for, let's say, arg in args, args, right? So I just want to print all the args, right? So I'll say print arg, right? So, or you can provide is, you can say, let's say, item and args, right? So I want to print all the items whatever I'm going to pass from into this particular method, right, particular function. So if I use this call this particular display function, and I'll say display info, and I'm going to pass here, let's say, Python, and I'm passing more data, let's say Java, and I'm passing C sharp, right? All this whatever the data you are going to pass. So let me pass, and you can see it is printing the data, right? So this is how you can say variable length, you can see argument, variable length positional argument is work. This is the variable length positional function. So the data that you are going to pass is not a matter how many number of data you are going to pass, whether you are passing one single data, whether you are passing multiple data, that is not you can say mandatory, or that is not restricted over here, right? So that is the reason why we say this is a variable length positional argument, right? So there is one more thing is variable length and keyword based argument, right? Let's see what is that. And we'll be taking one more still, and I'll see variable length keyword argument, keyword argument, right? Now to work with the keyword argument, we know what is the keyword argument, right? Initially we have used means you are passing the key and value, right, to the function, calling function. So the way we have used, I'll show you one of the example that we did here earlier video. So here you can see this is a keyword based, right? So here if you want to use this particular, you can pass with the here you can see this way, right? This approach, this is nothing but you are passing key and value pairs, right? So this is nothing but called as a keyword, you can say, argument. Now when we say keyword argument with the variable length, means the number of keyword argument, number of parameters we are going to pass that we don't know, right? So that is called as a keyword based argument, and that is a variable length. So this is you can say by we are using for this case star and kw for keywords, and then args, args, okay? So this is the keyword which is used to keyword based variable length keyword based, you can say we can say used to define a variable length keyword argument, okay? So this is one of the thing. Another thing is, when you are writing your code, let's say I'm creating one function, right? Let me define this. So I'll say diff, and I'll say display info. Once again I'm taking the same name, and here I'm going to create star star kwargs, right? So this is the you can say arguments that I am to take. On what is the type of argument? I'm taking keyword argument, right? So the user will be passing the data in a kw key and value pair, right? So inside of it, let me print the what is the type of you can see type of argument that we are going to get. So if I say kwargs, now we'll be getting that keyword arguments, right? So if I now let me use this code, and I'll call this from here. I'll say display underscore info. I'm passing something here called, let's see, age equal to 10, right? I'm passing data like this way. Now let me run this code, and you see we are getting the output as a dict. What that does mean? That means the type of keyword kwargs is a nothing but a dictionary, right? So the data this function, or you can say Python, is expecting when we are using the star star keywords args, kwargs, it will be expecting, or it will be treating your data as a dictionary only. Okay, so we can see so another point what we have learned, that we can see uh, star star kwargs is type of dictionary in a function, right? So this is what we have learned. So whatever the data, whatever the keyword argument that you will be passing, that will be treated inside of your function as a dictionary. Clear? Now let's try to use this, right? What we'll do, we'll be trying to print whatever the data we are going to pass, right? We know we are going to get the data in key and value pairs, and we know how to deal with the dictionary, because we have already discussed what is dictionary and how to use dictionary, how to traverse through dictionary, right? All these things we already know. Now let's try to use a for loop, and we'll be printing the data that we are getting from here, right? So let me get this code, and I'll once again I will redefine this particular code, and let me print it, and I'll use one for loop. Let me use a for loop. Let's say key and value, key comma value, right? And I can say kwargs dot, and you can say items, right? kw dot items, that is the function we have to use. kwargs dot items, that is the function we have to use to get all you can say all the entry sets from a dictionary, right? Now any spelling mistake is there? Args, don't think so. Okay, anyhow, let me print the data, right? If I want to print the data, you can see I can use key and value pairs, right? If I run this code, now let me use this, right? Here I want to call this particular display function display info, and I want to pass a data. Let's say a is equal to 10 I am passing, and after that I am passing b is equal to 20, right? This is the simplest data I want to pass over here. So if I run this code, you can see we are getting some error. What is the error? It is showing kwargs is not defined. Kwargs is not defined. Kwargs. Okay, it was a spelling mistake. Let me run this once again, and let me run this once. Here you can see we are getting the output, right? So it doesn't matter how many number of key and value pairs you are going to pass to your function. Python will be able to handle those kind of situation. So let's say in our next example, I am going to pass data like this way. Let's say display info. Here I am going to pass. Let's say I'm going to pass name, and I'm going to pass value as lies, right? Similar way, we can pass. Oh, sorry, I have to use colon over here, because we're going to pass like this way, right? And similar way, we can pass age, let's say 20, right? I can pass this way, right? If you want to pass this way, the data that Alice is 20, right? What is the error over here? Let me see. 20 student, oh sorry, I have to pass the data is equal to is sorry I do not need to, I can use this way, is equal to this, and name is equal to this, and is equal to 20, right? Key and value, right? If you now run this code, you can see you are getting the output, right? So in this way, you can use whatever the number of data. In tomorrow, you can pass some more thing. Let's say city is equal to, I am saying Pune, right? If you run this code, it doesn't matter how many number of keywords you are passing. you pass one keyword, you pass two keyword, you can pass any number of keywords. It will accept the data and it will be able to handle all these things. It will treat your data like a dictionary. So this is something, this is all about your keyword base variable length keyword argument. I hope this two concept is clear to you guys. What is variable length positional argument and what is variable length keyword argument, right? Okay, with this we are you can say going to close this video over here. In our next video we'll be trying to get some more you can say interesting thing about the Python functions, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, thank you guys, thanks for watching this video, and keep watching and stay happy. Thank you guys, thanks, bye.